Greetings, Mind Crafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion today. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am super excited to talk with you today about building your reality, just building your own reality. Now, as you know, Minecraft is about becoming the boss of your brain. So, thoughts first, feelings second, actions or behaviors third. So, in reality, when we change our thinking, we literally change our lives. We can literally create a new reality. So, manifesting is super hot right now. And I have to tell you that my inspiration today comes from Breathe Spirituality. It's this cool new magazine. Actually, one of our daughters got it for me for Easter, which was just really nice. And I've been so soaked up in it. It's really good. So they're talking, well, it opens the whole thing with this article, Building a Reality. And I don't see the author actually, or I would say it, but it's Breathe Spirituality magazine. They start off by talking about kind of making a joke that, a t-shirts it's on t-shirts and mugs and things like that. Like, leave me alone. I'm manifesting, or shut up. I'm manifesting. It's really become people, a lot of people into vision boards and doing all this sort of thing. And so in a sense, manifestation has kind of become like a buzzword in the well-being world. So Breathe Spirituality, I guess I don't have the author here. I certainly would share it with you. Talks about a manifestation coach whose name is Maria Concho from Long Island, New York. And I like how they say, or Maria says that, we're all actually manifesting all the time, walking around every day, all day, every day, manifesting, because it can be positive, negative, or neutral, because manifestation is solely about seizing control of your thoughts, right? And we're going to still manifest if we're not in control of our thoughts, because even if we're saying, oh, I don't want to think about that, I don't want to think about that, the fact that we are putting so much attention on we don't want to think about it is exactly what we're attracting. And that's sort of how it works. And she says this in this way, Maria does. Some people are default manifestors, meaning they don't realize how much control their thoughts have over the outcomes in their lives. Other people are conscious manifestors, which means that they are very intentional about their thoughts and their self talk, because they're aware of how impactful that can be. And so, and then she said, there's a huge correlation between what you think and what you have in your life. And that's the whole idea of thoughts to things, right? Abraham Hicks talks a lot about this. Wayne Dyer talks a lot about this. Oprah, a lot of people talk about this, because certainly the law of attraction isn't just like a quantum physics touchy feely situation. It's neurons. We are all walking balls of energy, and where what we focus on is where we place our attention. Where we place our attention is what attracts other things to come at us, whether that's negative, positive, or neutral. And so the article continues, to talk about noticing patterns. If you're going to manifest things, again, we are all manifesting, but if you want to be a conscious manifestor, let's put it that way, in living deliberately, it's really important to notice the patterns of thought that you have going on in your mind. And my friend Tom and I talk about this a lot. My synchronicity friend there. And of course, Matt McConaughey's book out, Green Lights. My friend Tom's, no offense to Matt McConaughey, he's great. I think he's spot on. My friend Tom's been talking about this for years and actually wrote his dissertation on it. But anyway, it's very, very important to notice the patterns going on. So, what kind of self talk is happening in your head? Because we walk around, we talked about this. 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. I think it's after age 35. We're mostly walking around thinking the same thing, feeling the same thing, and then doing the same thing. So it takes some work to really challenge. Hey, wait, where'd that feeling come from? That feeling had to follow a thought, because that's the order: thoughts, feelings, actions, right? We can't feel nervous if we don't think about nervous thoughts first. We can't feel angry if you don't think angry thoughts first. So figure out, whether it's guilt or self-doubt or shame, regret, any of these things, and notice the patterns that they're happening. And so, Breathe Spirituality, again, I don't have the author, I tell you. The author says, and do your thoughts come from yourself, or are you simply repeating the views of other people? Sometimes thought patterns can be deeply embedded from things people are told in childhood. Other times, more negative thoughts may be the result of past disappointments, mistakes, or hardships. Some thought patterns simply become ingrained through repetition, but habitual thoughts that don't serve you can be limiting. Absolutely. We know the brain loves repetition and patterns. Just repeat, repeat, repeat turns into a pattern turns into a habit, and the habit then can turn into an addiction. And Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this. And not even in, he talks about substances and things like that too, but a lot of the time he's talking about how we can become addicted to emotions, addicted to feeling guilty or ashamed, or addicted to self-doubt, addicted to regret, addicted to anger, and addicted to being hurt. We can actually become comfortable with that feeling, being hurt, and we tend to sort of land in this place, the default network, we call it. Usually, or most often, happens when we are on autopilot, kind of cruising along, not being mindful or attentive. And we land in this place, and then we tend to gravitate towards other people that kind of have the same agenda. Like, I need to feel guilty, and I need to feel badly about myself in whatever way. I need the self doubt. We tend to just like play the story out over and over and over again. And then they go on to say, like, just like we were just saying, is where we whatever we focus on is where we place our attention. What we place our attention on attracts more of it, whether that's negative, positive, or neutral. Even if we're trying to tell ourselves, okay, I'm not going to think about that. Okay, I don't want to think about that. I really don't want to think about that. The more we think about not thinking about it, we're actually attracting it even more so. And so when we focus on all these negative emotions, here's the basic thing, okay? Negative emotion Negative emotion leads to negative experience, and that's just relatively obvious, right? Positive emotion leads to positive experience. So when we kind of get locked into those negative emotions, we are then sort of creating resistance. It's similar to swimming upstream. You were going along with the flow, nice current, beautiful sunny day, going with the flow. All of a sudden, we want to chase something over there that's negative. We hear we're here, see a gilt rock on the side. We go navigate around that. Go navigate around something we regret. And all of a sudden we're spinning around. We got both oars in and we're swimming upstream, practically backpaddling because it's taking so much work. And we don't realize that resistance gets us. And not only does it get us nowhere, it actually creates and attracts even more obstacles than if we just went with the flow, just went with the current. And Abraham Hicks talks a lot about this too. In fact, I was listening to a podcast of hers. Actually, I've heard it before, but I heard it most recently, a week or two ago, and she does this whole thing with drop the oars. We go, chasing this and chasing that, creating all kinds of resistance. When in reality, just drop the oars and kind of enjoy the ride. And then Bree Spirituality has Karen Jackson. She is a yoga teacher and spirituality coach. And Karen says manifestation is about opening yourself up to your dreams and taking steps to make them reality. Mindset is everything. Your thoughts create your life. So I can concentrate on my purpose, which is doing what brings me joy. I can't say enough about this. My dear friend Oprah, who is not aware, she's a good friend of mine, would say this. And Oprah talks about her whole, career path when she was, in her early 20s getting started, and all these different things that happened to steer her in different directions. And she says, and I 100% agree with her because that's how I've lived my life. You know by how you feel. You know when it's the next right move for you by how you feel. When it's all about the fulfillment feeling. You just like the green lights, like my friend Tom says, like my eventual friend maybe Matt McConaughey says, because we need to go inside to listen to the inner voice. And that is how it all comes together. Hearing the voice, what's my next move? Then it just feels so right. And the other thing is to be grateful for the green lights, or in other words, breadcrumbs along the way, because I think it's Abraham Hicks who talks about this. People get so focused on outcome, and that's not the way to do it. We want to focus on the journey, which I know sounds cliche, but it's true, and focus on the feeling I'm already having, whatever. And not necessarily a material thing, but maybe it's a promotion, a new job, moving, a love relationship, and actually feeling as if you've already accomplished that already. And that's where the brain does not know the difference if you're sort of, creating this feeling of love, or if this someone is right there with you. The brain, cognitively speaking, the brain does not know the difference. And they talk here about manifestation can be a very practical tool to reaching goals, thoughts to things, making your internal reality and out and external reality and that sort of thing. And so the think big part is also, as we were saying, to really you can do vision boards and all that sort of thing. But no matter how, we really want to visualize, whether you have a vision board or you don't, visualize yourself in whatever scenario. Again, not attached to a specific outcome. Just envision yourself with the feeling of said outcome. And then the next place we go again is to feel grateful for the breadcrumbs or the green lights, each and every one. So somebody, you're manifesting, you're feeling these feelings about being in said situation, and then all of a sudden, a friend of yours says, "Oh, I want to introduce you to somebody," and that friend says, "Oh, and then somehow, like three people in that you don't even know anymore, all of a sudden somebody has an idea for you, or I've used this one before. You're in a grocery store because this my life is like this, and you overhear a conversation behind you that's about the book you couldn't remember the title of. That's exactly what you need to finish whatever. This happens all the time. I get behind cars and there's a bumper sticker that's literally what's in my head. I mean, it's just so crazy. And so when each and every little sort of step forward, the breadcrumbs moving you towards your next move happen, make sure to voice it in your mind. Better yet, write it down. Thank you for that phone call that seemed to come out of nowhere. I don't believe in accidents myself. That phone call from so and so who thought they had the wrong number, and now I just found out, or that I happened to land on. Well, in the old days, we'd say the newspaper and see that job, or the website is bouncing around, and who knew? And I can't believe somebody just gave me the heads up that this is open, and this stuff just really starts to happen once you make yourself you allow yourself to be in the place of allowing. So first it's figure out what your heart's desire is, right? That's the asking phase. Next, so okay, asking phase, heart's desire, just figure it out. What is it? I need I need a promotion. I not need, want, desire a promotion, a change, desire to travel, desire a break. Maybe you've saved up and you want to go do some traveling. Desire a new relationship, desire a new roommate, desire to live in a different state or country, whatever. And then to work real hard on the listening piece, right? The listening piece, being grateful for every little thing. And then that leads us to step three, which is being in receiving or allowing mode. In receiving mode, just ready. Because when we are grateful, 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 the universe responds to every single thought we have. That's why it doesn't help to say, I'm not thinking about that anymore. I'm thinking about that anymore. I'm thinking, and then that you're just going to get more of whatever it is you don't want to think about. That's just how it works. And so we have to just not talk about it so much and just do it. Shift into a more positive place with more positive energy and just keep working at it because the brain um, can be stubborn, especially if it's been allowed to run that negative self-talk loop through for so long. It's going to take some work, but we still have to step out of it and into this place of a new belief system where you also feel worthy. Because if you don't know your own value, this is all a moot point. Got to know your own value and believe that you are worthy of good things happening. And right there, combined with gratitude, knowing your value and gratitude and focus, sum it right up. That is manifestation. It'll be like a faucet turns on that you can't shut off. Not that you'd want to, but that's just what it's like. So, okay. We have been talking about building your own reality by getting yourself in alignment. It's all about mindset. all about mindset and shifting into this place, very positive place of where your heart's desire is, out of negative self-talk, and doing lots of meditative manifestation. Awesome. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day of manifestation.